Right, Hogmere, Punch Out Boxing. I am here with Brad Pauls. 3 weeks on, the dust has settled. We've all had time to reflect on that incredible night in Birmingham. How have you been, first of all? You had a week off back in Newquay, I take it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I had a week off. Overall, been good. Been positive. Had a week off. I've been back in the gym last 2 weeks. And yeah, just plotting and planning and speaking with the team and weighing up options and seeing if there'll be rematches and not
Hmm.
looking, but we're making plans. And yeah, it's been good. It's been good.
And got yourself a cute little puppy. Well, is it for you or for the girlfriend?
I say it's for her, but I'm falling in love with this little thing here.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, Herbie's called. Remember Herbie Hyde, the boxer?
I do remember him.
There you go. Look, little Herbie Hyde, look, with big ears. He's all right.
He's
He's all right.
a
But
lovely
yeah,
lad.
that's been
Lovely
keeping me
lad.
busy. But yeah.
So, yeah, going back to that night, then I don't know if you remember when we spoke at the midweek press conference. We did touch on the fact that you're going in as the away fighter. You know what this game's like. Um, yeah, I mean, how did you assess the fight when the scorecard started to get read out? Did you get an inkling for here we go?
Yeah, because I think the first one they read out, I think it was Heaney by it might have been 3 or 4 rounds.
Hmm.
And listen, I watched boxing since I was 9, 10 years old, and I just thought I understand how it works, and you can sort of get a feel of the agenda of what's meant to be happening that night. And I wasn't meant to do that well, so um, yeah, I knew there wasn't doing me any favors. So yeah, when they started reading the scores, especially that first one, I was like, I'm getting stitched up here. They're going to
Hmm.
do me down. And yeah, I feel like they did. I didn't feel like I lost. I didn't feel beaten. Um, and it's just like we both know it's just how it goes in boxing sometimes. When you're the away fight, all these little percentages against you, they add up in a close fight. So
Yeah. Um, I mean, what's the vibe you're getting from the boxing world? I was sitting next to my colleague Ender, who I know you spoke to, your biggest
yeah,
Irish fan. The two of us
yeah,
were saying at the end of the fight, we think he's won at least 8 rounds. But I remember saying to Ender that, yeah, but look, Nathan, you can expect at least 2 rounds to to get gifted to the home fighter. Well, that'd make it a draw, and obviously it turned out that way. But yeah, looking at online, it seems a lot of the boxing establishment they seem to think, yeah, Heaney nicked it. I mean, is that just the natural bias the establishment has for the house fighters always?
Um, yeah, it is, and it's like it's the first time I've really like been that close to it and seen it. That is, and you can't blame some people for thinking it because if you think about it's like propaganda. It's like they don't show you ring walk, and then the highlights in between each round they don't show any of your highlights of me hitting Heaney. The commentators they were against me at the start, but they had to come round and talk well of me towards the end, right? But it was a struggle to get any positive feedback off of them. Um, and then like on the night they post up photos, and it's only photos of me getting hit, not Heaney. Uh, and yeah, so it's like the agenda is for you to look. So if you're just normal watching it and the commentators are speaking bad to me and they see this of me, a photo of me getting punched, he highlights me getting punched, of course they're going to think, well, maybe he needs one then.
Mhm.
Because it's like fake news. It's like how they can make people believe anything. So I guess I was just a victim to the system uh, on that night. So it's just how it goes sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've seen a few of those of late. What was Stuart Senior's advice like in the corner? Was he saying things like, you're gonna have to be a bit more conclusive because, yeah, you're winning, but listen to the crowd; they're cheering for his every punch, whether it lands or not.
Yeah, and a lot of people jumped on the fact that on the last 2 rounds, Terry mentioned that I needed a knockout. It's not because he believed I was that down. I needed a knockout to win. it's his way of getting me to empty the tank and make sure I win the last 2 rounds because he knew it was close-ish. But yeah, and Terry understands boxing. He understands if it's close, it will go to the home fighter and the champion. So he needed it to be as clear cut as possible. And yeah, and Terry normally he's super critical and he has a lot of bad things to say. He will say how it is. But after this fight, he didn't have a go at me or anything like that. He was like, "You did everything I asked of you. They just done you dirty, basically." So yeah, just how it goes.
So, I mean, was it the 10th round where you had Nathan out on his feet? I mean, give him credit, he really did cling on. But did you get the vibe that he knew he had to stay on his feet because one knockdown and that could be it for him?
Yeah. And it's strange. Like, I think he had 2 warnings for holding up until the 10th. And then in the 10th, I could not get him off of me for holding. I said to the ref, he's holding, get him off me. And no matter what he did, that ref was not taking a point. If I was the home fighter, would he have took a point? If I had spat my gum shield out 3 times, would he have took a point? Maybe. And I always thought in amateurs, this gum shield out 3 times disqualified. It's black and white. And in pros, I thought it was gum shield out 3 times is the point. But even in the 10th, when I did have him hurt, in the rules, it's the ref waits for a lull in the action to put the gum shield back in. If you look at the 10th ropes, there was no lull. The lull didn't exist. But no favours when you're the away fighter. They're looking after me. So yeah, that's just how it goes. And if that didn't happen, would the result been different? Maybe. So here we go.
Well, like I said, just you're in good spirits now. I wonder in the immediate aftermath, though. I mean, just how deflating is that when you've given your all, know you should have got something, and then you don't, you get it snatched away.
It's a really strange one to take because I didn't feel like I'd lost, but I didn't have anything to show for winning. So I was in a bit of a weird, like I didn't lose, but I don't have the belt that I wanted. But I also didn't feel beaten. Like I don't feel like I'd been beaten up and lost. So it was a really strange one. So it took me a few days to get my head around it. But after a couple of days, I got so many messages of people saying they thought I'd won and other stuff. Not even just my support, other support. Some of HEANEY's support said the same. But yeah, just how it goes. Just how it goes sometimes.
Well, as you said, you're plotting your next move. I know you want the rematch. You made that clear. I don't know if you've seen the IFL post. Apparently, Stoke City have applied to host a boxing match. I mean, it can only be Nathan HEANEY. But rumours abound in the industry that he's got a world title shot. So probably wouldn't happen. Not next anyway. So as you said, you want to be active. You don't want to be like Jack Catterall, obsessed over the night you were robbed and then be inactive for 2 years. So yeah, I mean, what you looking at? I mean, now you've had a taste of that, just a taste of it. You don't want to go backwards. There's no shortage of young hotshots coming up behind you, but then ahead of you, there's guys like Tyler Denny. Felix Cash is always in and out. Would you be ready to go in at short notice for him? Say,
yeah. I've stayed in the gym, train all the time. I think what's next for me is it's out of my control. So we're waiting for the board to make their decision on whether I should get the rematch or they're going to make me mandatory for the British title. So I can't really make a solid plan until we get that information from the board. But I think the worst thing I could do in the world would be inactive. If you sit out and you're forgotten so fast in boxing, and for me personally, I need to be active. I need a fight day to train towards. I'm away from Cornwall. I need a reason to be away. So absolute worst case scenario is I'll fight in June. And yeah, if I have to go back to small wholesale tickets, then that's the way it is. But yeah, I'm not going to sit out and do nothing because you're forgotten very fast in this sport. So we'll make a plan and something good will come from it, I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're with Steve Goodwin, right? So he's great at keeping his fighters active, and then making sure they get those title shots or at least into the mandatory spot. So I mean, if worse comes down to it, like you said, would you just have a journeyman or two just to stay active?
That is the worst case scenario, but I will do it, because if I sit out the ring for 6-7 months waiting for this decision or whatever's going to happen, I'm not giving myself every opportunity of performing my best the next time I get in the ring. So, yeah, if that's what I have to do, then yeah.
Yeah, and obviously Nathan, he's got a very powerful backer, and fair play to him. I mean, he built his fan base, which matters in this sport. So I guess he's in a way earned that power, but
yeah,
it's entirely possible that he just holds on to the belt whilst he sees that whether he gets that world title shot. In that situation, would you be okay about looking at these alternative belts? You know, there's these continental belts and what have you. I know they're not as prestigious, but it'll keep your career moving.
Yeah, I'll take it. Obviously, I haven't got no TV promoter to back me and put up the money from. But even if I have to do one of these belts on a small hall, I think it's possible. And that will get me to the next stage of my career. So, yeah, definitely.
Was there no talk with Queensberry after that great performance about getting options on you?
Yeah, if I would have won, they would have had options. But sorry, bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. So I've got to let them. Wait. This way. Good boy. Wait. Hey, I'm so sorry.
Herbie needing.
Yeah. I'll just let him go to the toilet. That's all good. We're sorted. We're good. Frank said he would work with me. Frank said he'd me after the fight. He seemed pretty keen, but then I went through the ropes after the fight, and he was at 100%. And then Monday, quiet. Tuesday, quiet. So he guess I don't know. Nothing come of it, which is strange.
I guess Steve will he'll be on their case, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, what's did you say you've not yet got you haven't got a date yet because you're waiting on the board's decision? Do you know when?
Yeah. So once we get the decision, we'll know, but it'll be June. So I'll definitely fight in June no matter what, and then it's just So we'll see.
Well, there's some other interesting fighters coming up in the division. A couple of the matchroom hotshots, Mark Dickinson. I think there's the Essex boy, George Liddard. I don't know if would either of them be of interest. Gets you on TV.
Yeah, if it made sense, if it was going to progress me and there was a belt or there was something for me to gain from it, definitely. It's a busy division in middleweights. There's a lot of good fights out there. It's stacked right from number 1 to number 20. There's an abundance of names. You got Shiraz, you got Bentley, you got Liam Williams is still in there. Eubank maybe if he's about. So yeah, I'm open to any fight. Any fight. I'm willing to do if it puts me in the right direction.
What do you make of the upcoming fight between Bentley and Dignam?
Good fight. I think I've sparred both. I'd have to slightly favour Bentley. I think it's a good fight. I'm not sure how active Dignam's been, but Bentley's been active, and it'll be a good fight. It'll be close. I think Dignam is a really good fighter, but I think Bentley will win this one.
Well, what about your old foe, Heaney? I mean, I asked him after the fight, would he want maybe a crack at Janibek at Stoke City? 40,000 fans cheering him on. But your performance did sober him a bit today. He did actually say, if bradpauls is catching me like that, I wouldn't want to get caught by Janibek. If he gets a world title, I mean, he's 34, might never get another chance. But how do you think he'd get on?
What against Janabek?
Uh, Either him or the other talk is the Dominican Adames, the Dominican
Um,
teacher.
honestly, I don't know too much about Adames, but I don't know. I don't know. Don't know. If he's not beating me, I wouldn't say I'm world level. So not yet anyway. So yeah, who knows? He's 34. He's 35 now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, you gave us a hell of a night in Birmingham. So
But glad you enjoyed it, mate. I enjoyed it myself,
all
actually.
right.
It was
Me and Ender at the end of it, we were emotionally drained watching it. I mean, seeing it up close, it was draining. So I can only imagine what it was like for you and your team.
yeah.
Well, yeah, thanks for your time. You're a star now, getting loads of interviews. So
Monday, yeah. 3 in one day. I'm knackered. It's hard work.
it's
But
unfortunately necessary, and hopefully it will remind Queensberry and everyone else that you're still out there and still a danger to the middleweight division. That they should get you some of these big fights.
yeah, that's it. Let them know, mate. I'm still here. I'm still training, and I'm ready.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Brad, anything you want to add?
Just shout out to everyone who supports. Shout out to you for doing the interviews as well. Love doing the interview with you, mate. It's always a pleasure. And I'm sure we'll do another one soon when I've got a big fight lined up or any fight or whatever. So it'll be a pleasure, mate. And yeah, thanks a lot.
Pleasure's all mine, and say hi to young Herbie as well.
All right.
And definitely worth
All,
having.
all
Brad,
good,
thanks for
mate.
your time, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon, mate. Nice one.
Thank you.
Bye bye.